Hello, everyone. So I am back to do the what's happening to Trump, what's going on there, for his Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, of course. And I don't have the box to show you for this deck, but it's called the Deck of Character. If you want to get one, it's called the Deck of Character. You go to the Deck of Character, character.com. And it's organized into 3 categories, but you can just mix the whole deck together and do a spread that way. But I'm choosing to look at, this one's kind of thin. The tools, there's a whole lot more tools. There's 111 cards in the deck, but there are a whole lot more tools and places than there are characters, which makes sense. So let's see. Who is going to be hanging out with him, influencing him, doing things for him, to him, whatever. My goodness. Okay. Wednesday, October 1st. Wednesday, October 1st. No, hold on. Slippery little boogers. Right there. Of course. So, somebody with dragon breath? It's him. The wild woman. I had to color over her, or not color, but use the marker. I had to mark over her. She had wild boobies, in other parts. I don't know if this is Laura Loomer. I think. Well, yeah, it's Laura Loomer with her distorted thinking. Unicorns are great for kids, but yeah. And she's in it for herself. Okay, so there's a Laura Loomer presence I get. I can't imagine this being anyone else. If you guys think of someone, see, that's the great thing about this deck, and one of the reasons I wanted to use it is anybody can read these cards. So help me out here. Help a sister out, and you tell me what you get. I think it's Laura Loomer. Yeah, because she's been in love with him. Yeah, I think so. And there's someone else that thinks that they're really wise. Okay. Really wise. Let me make some room here for one more. And they want him to, or they get him. I think he gets hooked into somebody else who seems to really know what's going on. And then it makes his mind go in that, exploration area. Yeah, okay. Oops. All right. And what tools? This part I think I can shuffle a different way. What tools I have to be really clear when I set the intention for this one. I want to ask, because we know what tools he uses. He's only going to be doing, it's all about grifting. He's not strong enough to golf anymore, doesn't seem to be. Grifting, lying, cheating, and then revenge, right? That's what he's going to be doing. So rather than anything to do with what's he going to do, what are people going to be doing to him, for him? How is all that going to go? What tools are they going to be using with him? And more like, yeah, against or for him. We'll see. What tools will be used to either support him or work against him, or anything neutral in between. For Agent Krasnov, with a stupid Trump disorder, Don the Con, Trader Tot, Tweaker Taco, right there. Okay, there's a key. The key, the important factor is always the vomit to bring in more money. Yeah, the pay to play. Offering and vomiting money. And then amplify that. Throw some gas on it. And hide. Tom Homan really turns out to be a whole bag, literally. Got a bag of $50,000 cash. Oh yeah, great. And then war. Okay, so it's about the Department of War. We don't have a Department of Defense anymore. Let's leave the poop over there. So, it's got to be... But how does that relate to money? Okay, I'm thinking it has to do with the war machine, the Department of War, Hogsbreath, Keggers, amplifying the message that they think is so important, but it is just nothing but vomit. Let's see what place will he be in over this next 24 hours? So from midnight, October 1st, Wednesday, October 1st to midnight, Thursday, October 2nd. Where are you going to be, Dumpy? You know, we can read this way too, right? It's all about people and their self, and they just want to amplify so they can get money, get him to vomit. Oh, I get it. Part of it has to do with getting him to say something important to talk about, like a stock trade or a something, and that brings in money for them, his oligarchs, you know, and the whole war machine. And then they hide behind him. Because he's stupid. His hair even looks like that, right? And they hide behind him. Yeah. Okay. Right there. Okay, I'll go for that. I think this is him with one foot in the grave, and he's battling all over the world, or things are just very complete. Something comes full circle in the swamp. Oh, this is sad. This could have something to do with something coming full circle about those poor souls who have just kind of disappeared. I already asked. I didn't do a reading here because it only took a few seconds. I just did some cards for myself real quick, and I got that the alligator Alcatraz souls have been, the ones who didn't lose their lives have been sent to another country. A swamp. We don't. I don't think. Well, there are. I imagine there could be a sacred swamp in heaven. There might be something about that. What's happening to him? We know that when he goes, his soul is going to be stuck in a swamp, and is only just that little tiny divine spark of his spirit will go back to where it originated. Gold mine, yeah, no. Okay. So if we were to read this way, there's somebody powerful with the key, with an important part of something that ends. I mean, but I was asking where he was going to end up. Laura Loomer with her dragon breath is so intense that she sends him to the grave. Laura Loomer vomits on him and he can't wrestle with that, so he ends up in the grave. Laura Loomer just wants money from him, but who doesn't, right? Somebody that's just very selfish, but again, Laura Loomer's here and here and here, amplifying his message, but she lives in the swamp, and that matches his energy. Laura Loomer says, yeah, I'll light myself on fire and go to heaven with you. God, I don't know how else to read this. Oh. Keggers, who thinks he's the wizard, is hiding behind him as well. And will just, he's just out there. He's out there. He's just totally out there. Trump is totally out there. The discoverer, the energy of, well, and if I look at it in a different way, it could be something to do with like Elon Musk and Mars and Space Force and all of that. Is it battle with maybe a baby mama from, well, I hate using that term, but one of the women who has had so many children with him. Now, on another level, this could be something, I don't know if he would come out in the news, but because you know how Putin has, this is so gross, you guys, this is super gross, but he has a poop briefcase. Whenever Putin travels somewhere, he doesn't want any DNA left behind or any way to analyze anything about him. So I imagine there's somebody that fishes it out of the toilet for him and then goes in a, like you have a dog and you're taking your dog for a walk and they poop and you get out the little bag and you put it over your hand and reach in or reach down and grab it and turn it around and tie off the bag. That goes into a briefcase whenever Putin travels. And I don't know why that reminded me of that whole thing, but Putin's the warmonger. And the hiding of the poop, I was seeing like that whole thing there. Maybe there's something that comes out about that. I don't know. But happening to him, I'll go for these cards. Gone and wrestling in the universal forces to get himself out of the swamp because he wants to go to heaven. He knows he can't. And then this is like way off into the future when he has to reincarnate over and over and over and over again because... And the darker they are, or to get the lessons, now it's not always that case, but the darker they are, usually they reincarnate right away because they have so much unresolved karma with the people that they left. But, yeah. God. But that's not always the case. Okay, I'm just going to leave this here and let you guys, just know that you can read the cards diagonally. down. You can even knight them together, like the dragon, the powerful woman that just wants more money, more money. Maybe somebody dies. Maybe this isn't him, but maybe it's Laura Loomer and her amplifying the message of like Bitcoin or some other kind of, crypto coin or money at all, and then they wind up it ends something. The wrestling ring could be the message that, I don't know, maybe does he attend another stupid world whatever wrestling event? And, world wrestling, that could be. And it's some important event. And his swamp people are there vomiting their negativity on him. Or it could be other people vomiting the truth onto the swamp. That makes more sense to me. But they're hiding and he's hiding. Maybe there's something with Netanyahu. Unite the cards by like 2 over and 1 up, or 1 over and 2 up, or 1 over and 2 down, and then you just read them together. Okay, if I take some more time, what am I into here? Is this 11 minutes? I can't see. I'm looking at white on top of white there. Get through my viewfinder. So anyway, there is no war in heaven, but people who die in war, their true life force winds up in heaven, and we don't know about the rest of the soul that has to process through things, because the soul and the spirit are different, remember? Okay, but swamp, hiding. It's happening to him. Tools being used against him. Throwing poop at him. It's a war. There's something important that comes out in the news and he's hiding. You can also mirror the cards together. That's what I'm doing right now. There's a lot of just trash talk, vomit, and throwing some fuel on the fire. So there's a lot. He is good. That's what this is, you guys. You know what this is? This is, sorry, sometimes I'm just master of the obvious, right? All of this is all the repercussions coming back upon him based on him and Kegers, because I really feel like this is Kegers up here, going to Quantico, Virginia, and they pulled in everybody, all these military officers and flag officers, military generals and flag officers, and just so they could talk to him, and they didn't say anything smart. And people are willing to pay. If people are willing to pay to put him in this place, whoo. Oh my goodness. Somebody going to start a GoFundMe? Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have said that. Okay. But there's an exacerbation of problems coming down on him all over the world because of what he did to bring all the military officers and generals to Quantico yesterday. Wow. And the rest of this, I don't really know. I mean, I think it's the problems it creates all over the world, and it goes out into the universe. And what is this about? Or maybe is there something else coming out about miscarriages? Is there something about that? Does news come out about Laura Loomer having an abortion because of him. Ew. Ew. No wonder the vomit is there. She's crazy though, and she loves him. Of course, wasn't she telling him to release the Epstein files? I don't know. I lose track. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert sure have aligned with that though. So, okay. I guess I'll just leave it here. I can't really get much more out of this womb card. It's interesting. What if I kept going? Instead it would be the gold mine. Farming more money. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give it up. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Bye.